So you think that your property taxes should be lowered? Well, in a legal way. We're going to tell you all about that. It's about a website called capropertytaxsavers.com. We have the co-founders, Cornell Baines and Scott Daniel, with us right now. There are a lot of folks out there right now who are asking, you to put their trust in them to, help them appeal their property taxes. What sort of scams are out there? What should you look out for?
Well, I think most homeowners by now have probably received letters in the mail. They look like official documents from the government, and they need to be very, very careful about, reading into that. Some of the firms have tried to charge late fees if they don't get if they don't file by a certain date. They'll charge an additional $40, and they basically act like it's coming from the government. It's not coming from the government, and you shouldn't, really be, lured in to pay a $250 fee to have your property taxes lowered. Every homeowner can do this on their own. It's just, where do you get the data? Where do you get the information so you have a solid, correct market value of your property? And we're actually using the #1 data provider in the United States that has helped us, they provide the data for us. We've created a formula to make it easy for the homeowner to get that data at an affordable price.
What are some of the common mistakes, if you're doing it on your own, what are some of the common mistakes in trying to reassess your own home?
Well, I think the most common is, would you agree, Scott, is the 90-day window.
Absolutely.
We've heard a number of people on our blog and that have emailed us that have said that their appeal was thrown out because their comps were outside of the March 31st deadline. And in most counties in the state of California, you want to get, or in all counties, you want to get that value as close to January 1, 2009 as possible. Now, you can go back before January 1, and you can go all the way up until the end of March. But once you put in a comp in April, it's going to throw it out. It's not going to accept it.
So it's got to be 3 within the 90 days.
It's got to fall within that 90-day window, and that's probably the biggest mistake most homeowners are making.
Now, when people are looking at comps, they might just look in their own neighborhood. Talk about comps and where you guys find them to help people, get their right valuation.
Well, I think every homeowner can walk down the street and see for sale signs or sold signs, and they'll be able to pick those out. What they need to do, though, is they need to make sure they're getting the right data. If there's a for sale by owner in their area, if it's just down the street, they need to make sure that square footage is close. They need to take the property characteristics into consideration. And you also don't be afraid to include the bank-owned properties if there's a foreclosure and it sells. That's an arm's length sale, and that's the most important part is, remembering what an arm's length sale is. And we don't have that much time today to go into it, but on our website at capropertytaxsavers.com, there's a learning center where the homeowner can go to learn about what an arm's length sale is, along with the informal and formal deadlines.
One of the few times you're hoping that your property value is going down, you're looking for lower comps in that particular case.
Yes.
So when people are going to sit down at your website and try to figure out whether it's worth their while, what sort of information should they have when they sit down there?
The only information they really need is their property address, and in rare occasions they might need their own square footage of their property if we don't have that data. But that's all they need. I mean, they can run a quick analysis of their property to see if they qualify for a reduction. And within 3 minutes, they'll be able to determine whether or not they should take that next step and file for the review.
Very good. Well, thanks so much for being with us tonight. And again, that's capropertytaxsavers.com. And if you miss that website or the website of our first guest, you can simply go onto our website, which is www.cox3.com. That's where you'll also find information about our show next week. We're going to be taking a look at what it's like to raise not one, but 2 kids who are addicted to drugs. And we'll hear how the kids have survived and the mother has survived. That's all next time on Cox Forum. Until then, thanks for joining us here on Cox Channel 3.